Hey, okay, I'm gonna run down this list. I'm gonna do it fairly quick. If you get bored and you don't want to take the time to look at my favorites or look at different YouTube videos, I'm gonna just run over what I have written here, okay? Fiddleheads can be eaten raw or cooked when first sprouting, pickled, salads, or boiled. Remove all chaff. Dandelions, edible raw or cooked. Yellow flowers and leaves are edible. Over 300 types, all edible. Range in shape and size. Main stem must be smooth, no hair. Good for urinary tract infections, cancer, arthritis, cysts, and they are high in vitamin C. Wild mustard, all edible. Range from mild to pungent. Young leaves raw, older cooked. 4-petal flower, 6 stamen, 4 tall, 2 short. Seed pods look like a staircase. Taste peppery. Young leaves raw, older cooked. Pine, high in vitamin C, good for scurvy. Tea, young pine needles, 10 to 15 minutes in hot water. Pine cones, smaller cones can have bigger seeds. Take closed pine cone and put in a bag. It will drop the seeds. Acorns, some taste better than others. Don't eat any green ones. Number 1, soak or leach in cold water. Days to weeks. Only cold. Keep changing water. High in tannic acid. Or 2, several hours with boiling water. Keep changing the boiling water. Acorns have starch. If you have heat above 150, they cannot be used as a binder for bread or to thicken soups. Also, I turn these things over. I don't really want to take the time to do all that. Can get oil when boiled. Can ladle off the oil. Ancient process has been done for over thousands of years. Wild onions are called the fool's onion. All parts edible. Purple flowers growing off 1 main stem. Flowers 5 to 6 petals with yellow stamen, each stem 2 to 5 flowers. High in iron, removes parasites, removes heavy metals. Cattails, edible raw. Pull young shoots straight out of the ground. Young shoots any time of the year. The end is similar to cucumber, and I have tried this before. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I don't think I spit it out. I think I swallowed it, but if I was starving, I definitely could eat it. Horns grow on the roots and they can be boiled. Downy head, good for fires, pillows, and clothing. Stems make shift arrow, shaft, or bow drills. Violets, 5 flowers, 5 petals, blue, white, yellow, or multicolored. Unevenly distributed. Lower petal has veins. Vary in shape and size and color. Edible raw or cooked. Not African violets. Those would be hairy and they aren't edible. Yellow violets in large quantities are laxative. Oh, just had another earthquake. Yellow, 2 types sweet. You can make wine out of or wood. They have large leaves. Pansies are violets, not commercial. Leaves, anything from heart to bird foot. Lichen, that is what grows on cemetery stones and on trees, or on the ground. Over 20,000 species and only 2 that you can't eat. Laced with acid, have to be prepared correctly. Can't eat wolf lichen, which is yellow-green, or powdered sunshine lichen, which is sulfur in color. People have been eating it raw, or have been seen eating it raw. Good source of antibiotic. It is a fungus and an algae. Need to be soaked in wood ashes, multiple changes, or baking soda. Guess I'll flip it over for you, sorry. Leach out acid by soaking, multiple changes of water. Time of year, year-round, grayish to grayish-blue. Sumac. Can make wine or syrup or an aid, not poison sumac. White berries when ripe. I tried to look into this a little more just to make sure, because I have a ton of sumac around me and I want to make sure that I'm not doing it wrong, but that's what was said, so if anybody knows anything different, let me know. It fruits in the fall. It likes dry ground, and they're not perfectly round. The leaves are lance shape. Not red berries, but garnet. Dusting of gray on the tiny hairs. Don't eat the berries. Oops. Hope I didn't mess anything up. Aid is made by soaking berries. The hairs on the berries contain acid, which makes the aid. Use warm water, not hot. Can cut and let hang dry. Can store for several months. Can dry berries into a fine powder for a lemony spice. Wild grapes. Can make wine, jelly, dried pies. Seeds pressed for oil. Single tendril is native. Split is a hybrid. Seed of grape is a teardrop. If shaped like a crescent moon, it is not a grape, and it is toxic. No bright blue. That's a virgin creeper on red stems. It's not a grape. Pigweed, your basic weed that you would pull out of the garden. I know what this looks like. I should probably have pictures of all this, and you could do that. I do have a book already, but I just want to make sure I have this stuff down. Okay, it's the most basic weed that grows in the garden, and you cook it like spinach, and it's very nutritious. Plantain, the plant that grows on lawns. It's soft to walk on. It grows everywhere. Almost looks like a flattened lettuce. This is how I described it. It's known as the white man's foot. It's a topical healer. Put in ointment, helps with cuts, bee stings, insect bites, and it's a pain reliever. You can make an infusion for parvo. In other words, you soak it in water. Early in the spring, when leaves are tender, they can be cooked or used in a salad. Make a syrup. Pretty easy, but I have it written down anyway. Early in the spring, when it starts to thaw, collect sap from maple trees and boil down until thick. Pretty simple. Apple cider. Make a starter. A yeast mass. Starter. Peel apple, put in a container with apple juice. Let ferment for a couple weeks. It makes a yeast. Take starter, add to any juice that's without preservatives. Cover with saran wrap and elastic. Prick a little hole. Let sit out for 5 to 7 days. Refrigerate to stop yeast from eating sugar. Pour in container and seal for 1 to 3 days to charge. In other words, get fizzy. Any juice but no preservatives. Butter. Heavy whipping cream or raw cream. Room temp. Churn. Mix or stir. Dump out buttermilk, and you can use that. Add cold water and stir. Get all buttermilk out or it turns rancid. Vinegar. Have to make a mother. The mother, which is another yeast mess, haha. Mix sugar, water, and a dash of vinegar to container, maybe a banana peel. You're trying to attract flies. Hang outside, don't let the rain in the container. In a shaded spot, 2 to 3 weeks, a mother will form. Add mother to, I dropped my glasses, sorry. Add mother to alcoholic beverage. No fizz in the alcohol. In other words, let it sit flat first, if you have it. Place in warm, dark place for a few weeks. Vinegar mother is made from the stuff off flies' feet. Some vinegars taste better than others. Save the mother that tastes good and keep using it. Keep trying. Pickles. Boil water, vinegar, pickle salt, bring to a boil. Add to jar with sliced cucumber, garlic, and dill. Close jar and wait. Strawberry jam. 3 cups berries, 2 teaspoons lemon juice, 1 cup sugar. Heat and stir. Consistency depends on amount of water in the fruit. Always boil lids and jars before canning. Canning tomatoes. Boil tomatoes until skin splits or run under boiling water over them. Peel and slice and then bring to a boil. No foam when you're done. Boil lids in jars. Add salt and lemon juice, basil and chives. Add to jar and place upside down, wrapped in towel for 30 minutes. Balsamic vinegar. Age years and years, up to 50 years. Press red grapes. Cook it for 3 days. That was a tough one to watch, sorry. Mayonnaise, raw egg yolks, mix, oil. Now the person said it's a certain kind of oil, but I couldn't really figure out what he was saying. I think you can use vegetable oil. Add your oil slowly and it stops it from splitting. Then add salt, pepper, lemon juice, mustard. Dried mustard, that would be, I believe. Drying meat in the sun. Create smoke under your meat to keep the bugs off. Keep in the sun, maybe 2 days. It could be just 1 day, I'm not sure. But 2 days to be sure. Hang off sticks or whatever. Homemade spaghetti. Now that's a long one. I'll tell you. Okay, noodle recipe. 2/3 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons oil, 1/2 tablespoon salt, 2 eggs. Mix all by hand. Try to add oil after. Mixing unless it's too dry, then you can add the oil. Knead for about 10 minutes, not sticky or sticking in your hands. Let sit for an hour. Roll out dough. Every few rolls, flip the dough and stretch it. Also, every few pulls, flip the dough so it doesn't stick to the table. Make as thin as possible. Let sit and dry a little. Cut and lift dough. It's a long process. For the sauce, you'll need your meat, 2 tomatoes, 1 onion, pepper, 1 tablespoon oregano, basil, garlic, and extra tomato sauce. Chopped tomato, mix all. Boil about 2 minutes. Crushed tomatoes, simmer for 10 minutes or longer. Brown meat, then add to the sauce. Add olive oil to the water. I can't read my own writing, so noodles don't stick. Oops, shoot. Sorry. Wine, grape juice, and other juices. Sugar, make sure you have enough, 1 cup, etc. Add yeast. Shake, release lid, just a little bit, so the air can get into it. But you don't want it popping off. How to make natural yeast. Add water to food or fruit, like half full of water in a small jar. Shake the jar once a day and open the jar and then recover. When it starts forming, it will make a sound. Fizzing is ready. Can use raisins, strawberries, peaches, etc. Also potatoes, cabbage, not so good. So in other words, you can do it out of, it sounds like pretty much anything, fruit. Pickled eggs, vinegar in a jar. Bring eggs to a boil slowly for about 12 minutes. Boil for 12 minutes. Fresh eggs aren't as good for boiling. They're hard to peel. Add vinegar, peppercorns, and salt. Leave for at least 2 weeks. Crepes. Whisk 2 eggs. Add a cup of flour. Add 1 1/4 cup milk. 2 tablespoons vegetable oil. Pinch of salt. Mix well. Whisk. Let sit 1 hour. Refrigerate if possible. If too thick, add milk and fry them. Yogurt. Good for yeast infections, if you don't know that. And that's for men or women. Sugar or honey, dehydrated milk, vanilla, milk. For every quart of milk, add 1/3 cup of sugar. For every quart of milk, add a 1/2 cup dehydrated milk. Heat to about 160. Keep stirring it. At 150, add vanilla or flavoring. Wait an hour. When it gets to about 100 degrees, then add yogurt culture, which is yogurt. So if you already have the yogurt, then you can add more. Warm yogurt in your fire or whatever for 8 to 10 hours, then chill if possible. Hold that stuff up, sorry. Almost done. Carrots in the winter, and maybe potatoes or ground vegetables. Cover with mulch in the fall. Snow should protect your carrots. Dig up as needed or wanted. Once snow is uncovered, you must eat them, or they will freeze. Extracts. Basically adding liquor to some kind of flavoring. Vodka, scotch, gin, etc. You can add the vanilla, cinnamon sticks, peppermint, spearmint, hot peppers for chili, cookies, use them for cookies or drinking. Let sit and wait. Sounds pretty easy. I have little things like you can cook on rocks or in bark bowls, on coals. Also can warm rocks and put them near you to keep you warm. Is snow safe to drink? Yes, but you should boil and warm it. If you drink too much, it'll drop your body's temperature, your core temperature, and you don't want that. I saw somebody cooking snow, and they basically used a little bit of snow at a time and kept adding instead of filling the whole pot with snow and then letting it warm that way. Supposedly it's faster if you just start with a little, let it turn to water, and then keep adding. Farmer's cheese, milk, buttermilk, lemon juice, salt. Milk at 175 degrees, add buttermilk and lemon juice. Allow to curdle. Turns to curds and whey. Wait 10 minutes, drain, and hang with the cheesecloth for 30 minutes. Mix salt. Saving strawberry plants. In the fall, dig up your best strawberry plants. Cut roots off the bottom of the plant. Each root will make a plant. Put roots in the brown paper bag. In January or February, plant each root in a pot with soil. Each one will become a strawberry plant. Okay, mozzarella cheese. Milk and rennet. Use hot salt water and knead it over and over until it's cheesy. How do you get your rennet? This is one way. I looked it up. Stinging nettles, which I don't want to say they have a poison, but they have some like toxin, and it can bother you for days and days, so you don't want to touch the plant that's above the ground. I also watched a video where I believe you can eat the root, but you want to double check that first to a stinging nettle. I saw that on Eat the Weeds. But to make rennet, you take the leaves, use gloves, rinse well, very well. Simmer down, put it in a pot with water, simmer it down, and add salt. And you use that for mozzarella. Beef stock, beef bones, brown in the oven, carrots, onions, celery, brown in the oven. Then add all to water, bay leaf, peppercorns, bring to simmer, skim off impurities, gently simmer for 10 hours, 10, 12, whatever. And chicken stock. Chicken, bones, and skins. Mix this all together, onion, carrots, celery, peppercorns, thyme, 2 cloves garlic, bay leaf. Garlic's whole, don't crush it. Add it to cold water, brought to a slow simmer, but do not boil, no boiling. Skim off the scum at the top, the bubbles and all that stuff. Plenty of water to extract the chicken flavor. And I heard you can do it anywhere from 4 to 12 hours, but the longer you do it at the lower temp, the better it's going to be. So, that's pretty much all I have written right now. Keep going. So that's my exciting book, and I hope it helps somebody at least.